As part of our Young People Farming the Future initiative, the Murray Mallee LLEN team created an Ag Champions podcast, which consists of brief interviews with local ag champions within our region. We embark on a journey of discovery with industry professionals exploring their unique experiences, challenges, and triumphs in navigating the agriculture landscape. Tune in as we cultivate conversations that illuminate the diverse pathways that lead to success in the field of agriculture and uncover stories behind the individuals shaping the future of agriculture, horticulture, and agribusiness. I'd like to welcome Jorja McDonald to our Young People Farming the Future Ag Champion podcast. Thank you for joining us, Jorja, to chat about your pathway in the agriculture industry. So please introduce yourself, tell us a bit about what industry you work in, and a little bit about the organisation you work for.
Yep, so I'm Jorja McDonald, born and bred in Swan Hill, I suppose. Grew up on a little farm at Lalbert. Currently in the animal health and livestock production space. I was at Elders for 4.5 years, and I've been at Swan Hill Stockfeeds for 2.5 years. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Awesome. So what inspired you to pursue a career in agriculture?
Funnily enough, I grew up on a farm, but I actually had no interest in being involved in the farm work. Like, I actually hated the farm.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be either like a teacher or a social worker growing up. It was actually my late grandfather over the school, like, summer holidays. I was going into year 12 and he sat down and he's like, I reckon you should consider a career in ag. Like, it's a sustainable workforce. There's so many career pathways. Like, you don't just have to be on the farm in a tractor. You can be in a lab doing research. You could be writing newspaper articles for the Stock and Land. Like, the opportunities are just, like, endless. Like, I think that come at a really pivotal time in my life, and I started looking at a career in ag, and I still to this day can honestly hear my grandfather saying, like, sitting down to me saying, like, I'm just like, pick a career in ag, and I'd like to hope that he'd be proud of me of where I am. And it's brought me a lot of, I suppose, blood, sweat and tears, literally, to get to where I'm at. But I always think of, like, my late grandfather, and I think, like, it's so special for so him nice to say that. Like, considering, like, so I obviously grew up on a farm, and my pop is the farmer, but my grandfather's a civil engineer, and it come from him, and I think that just, like, really stuck with me. So he was just like, do it. So
that's so good that you had such a positive role model to say.
And it was like, I think I suppose he's wanting to know what we're going to do in our future before he goes as well. So I think that's probably why, I don't know, when he said it, I was like, right, I'm going to do this, and it's really stuck with me.
No, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
So you said that when he was talking to you, you were in year 12, is that right?
Yeah, so I was going into year 12.
Yeah.
Yep, so it was those summer school holidays.
Were you studying any agriculture stuff at school?
So I was. And I suppose this will lead into the next question. So, like, I remember when I was 15, 16 at school, like, I'd just done, like, year 12 health in year 11, so I'd completed that, and, like, I suppose everyone was thinking I was going down the health line. And I think, like, in that 15, 16-year-old, like, you just, like, you have no idea what you want to do when you want to be older. Or I had no idea. And, I felt there was so much pressure choosing subjects, and was like, you know what, I'm just going to do vet ag and use it as a blood subject.
Yeah, right.
Essentially. And,
Did you choose it because you'd, like, grown up on a farm, so you thought at least you would know?
Yeah, I probably. Like, I don't know. I had a difficult schooling time. And I just was kind of like, no, I'm going to use it, like, I suppose, as a scapegoat, and just, I suppose, if there's nothing going on in ag class, I can do my other subjects.
Yeah. So I really like that you had the opportunity to do vet ag. So you went to the Kerrang Tech High School, is that right?
Yeah.
So if you didn't have exposure to a passionate agriculture teacher, would you have followed this pathway, do you
Definitely not. Like, I would definitely not have followed this career pathway. And it goes back to, I suppose, we got given that trial week at the end of, must have been year 10, and so I did, like, had to snippet into what, like, vet ag could offer, and I was like, God, I really love this, and it's something that I really loved. Like, I love, like, the teacher, so the passionate ag teacher, I suppose. And I remember at the end of that week, I sat in with my mum and my, like, school coordinators, and they said, you've done health subject, like advanced health subject, you've got PE, all these health subjects, and biology, and they're like, why would you want to do ag when you don't get a score for it? Right. And I was like, well, like I've just done it in these last 2 weeks and I really love it, and it's something that I just really enjoyed. Like, it wasn't about getting a score for my ATAR, it wasn't about getting a certificate. I just really loved what we did in the last 2 weeks. And that was because of, my ag teacher. So
was it very hands-on? Or?
I suppose, like, over the 2 years doing the vet ag, it was very hands-on, and the teacher had already come from, I'd say she was experienced within the industry, like she was an agronomist and she was married to a cattle farmer and all that, so she was just well experienced and well rounded and everything like that. So like in the vet ag subject, like we got to go to the sheep and wool show and show sheep in Bendigo. We did cattle work out on their farm. We got to do a run in the shearing shed. We established our own school farm at Kerrang Tech. We were just exposed to a lot of things, and it was because of, I suppose, her contacts and just how passionate she was. Like, I think our class, there might have been maybe 6 within our class, but they were all kids, like, I suppose, that wanted to be vets or they wanted to be an agronomist or something. So, like, I think it was a good, like, cohort that was passionate about ag, and I think that's probably what also grew my love for it. And I honestly, like, it, I look back at my schooling, and the last 2 years doing vet ag was probably the highlight of my schooling
fantastic.
At the end. Yeah, like, and I, like, it's actually funny, like, the people that I went out and visited as a school kid, like, I deal with them now, like, they're my clients.
Yeah.
So, like, it's kind of, like, gone full circle.
I like that you said you wanted to do some kind of, like, social worker working with people, and now you probably didn't realise that a career in ag would actually lead to working with people.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually think that's probably the best of both worlds too. Like, I can honestly go out on farm and I hear stuff like, obviously they're dealing with drought, they're dealing with flood, fire, everything. So, as much as it's not probably labelled a social worker, like, you are dealing with people's livelihoods and there's a lot of pressure on them, and so as much as I'm not a social worker like I probably expected I would be, I am in many other ways. So
different things. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So were there challenges in starting out in this particular industry?
Yes, definitely. Like, and I am big on saying, like, loose lips sink ships. But pretty much, like, in a nutshell, like, I just kept my head down, bum up, worked hard, kept my ears open for what was going on, asked questions, never assumed anything, and, like, you just don't run your mouth. Like, you just, I think it's a good opportunity. I found it was a good opportunity. Like, if it's something that you want to do, then, like, just honestly take it all on board. I suppose, just listen for everything, and you're going to get thrown punches, but you just wear them and just keep going again. So pretty much, like, I was fresh out of year 12 when I started in the industry. I was taking a gap year because I was uncertain if I wanted to do ag or if I still wanted to do social worker, like social working. So I was like, I'm just going to get some work experience. Like, I wasn't interested on our farm because we're broadacre. I was interested in the livestock, and, like, that passion grew through doing vet ag. So I was like, I'm going to, like, focus on doing, like, the livestock industry and seeing what comes from there. And so I started working with a local stock agent a few days a week in Kerrang, in the sale yards in Kerrang and Swan Hill. So that was pretty hectic, and I worked as a rousey in a local shearing team, and then went on to get my part-time job at Elders. And, like, I didn't get that job easy. I worked clearing sales on weekends, like, and I was just running back and forth with paper just to go from, like, the sale to the booking clerk, and, like, I pretty much threw myself at any opportunity I could just to get employed with them. Like, in my opinion, in my eyes, I was kind of like, if I get employed with a big company like that, like, it can pretty much, if you knuckle down, it can take you to anywhere. So I applied for a job at Elders, and they said, like, I wasn't experienced enough, which was fine. Like, I was 18, fresh out of school, like, you get that. And then I did these few clearance sales with Elders, and then I got a phone call to say there was a lady going away for a month if I wanted to come in and just fill in. And I just thought, yep, that's great. I'll take any opportunity I can to get paid and work and this kind of thing. You never know where it will lead. I was in the office and I said to the head stock agent, I was like, I want to go down to the yards and help out, like, follow the sale from when the sheep come in, when they're sold, who they go to. He said to me, he's like, nah, you're too young to be doing that. So, like, I didn't get that wish granted straight away. But my time come, and when it did, like, I made the most of the opportunity, and I was literally, when I got down there, like, I was 18, young and naive, and I was literally, like, a young girl trying to make it in a man's world.
Yeah.
It was, like, pretty hardcore. Like, I think some days I went into survival mode, because, I suppose the boys, like, they didn't care if I was young and naive. They just wanted me. I was there to do a job and do it right, like regardless if I'm female or male or 18 or 60. Like I just was there to do a job. But I think like I had to earn respect from people within the industry, and that come from, I suppose, mucking up, like learning from your mistakes and then owning them. And I think like the way you can conduct yourself during all that like speaks larger volumes for itself, and people will notice that, and then that's, I suppose, where you get the respect. And I had some really good mentors. I feel like it took me to earn my stripes, and then I had some really good people on my side then.
So you mentioned it's a little bit of a man's world.
Yeah.
So do you believe more and more women are pursuing a career in ag? Do you think?
I definitely do. I think probably the world the last few years has got a lot more equality in it.
Yeah, definitely.
And women get a chance to go out and have their career like that my mother and my grandmother would never have got given. Like they've, so I think there's a lot more opportunity there for the girls. The ag industry has so many jobs that aren't as labour intense anymore due to modern technology, and that's not because men are stronger than women. It's just simply because we're living a lot longer now, and we need to be able to just do a job like for a lot longer. It's just the industry now, and we all have to prolong our health so we can keep working in the ag industry.
Yeah.
And I think
we're working smarter, not harder.
Yeah, literally. And the women that are in the ag industry, like they need to stand together and be a strength for one another. Like I have worked with some really powerful women in the industry, and they hold their own. And like there's contractors that will employ women because they just have more care, and yeah, like they're more focused on getting a better product, I suppose. Yeah.
I think it's cool to see such fantastic, like you mentioned, you had the mentors and the strong
women,
and I feel like as you're mentored by those women, you're now one of those women in the industry who are able to mentor like the young women coming through.
Yeah, and so like I'm
cool.
pretty like when I started with that first stock agent, like there was a woman in their team and she was really strong. Like she had a real sharp tongue on her, and she would be like pull them into line and be like, no, like this isn't right, like do it this way. And then the person that ran the sale yards, like she was a woman, she was high in, I suppose, the pecking order because everyone needed her to get their printouts, know what's gone where, this had to be done. So like she was like held in quite high regard, and I feel like I've worked with some really strong women and that are very well respected in the industry. So I have been lucky, like it hasn't just been a solo act or anything. Like there's definitely been strong women that I've been influenced by, and they're inspiring. So nothing better than I suppose earning your keep and then being able to tell someone, well, hang on a second, I'm actually right. So yeah, it's great.
What is your most significant career highlight so far?
I have a few. Like I've been in probably 2 different roles. So I've met a lot of industry icons and got to know them and watch them work in their workspace, I suppose, and understand why they're so well respected within the industry. And I think that sets you up as a goal and a focus going forward. And then I had some really good mentors from earlier in my career, and I reflect on them regularly today and how they've made the person I am today. And I think it just goes to how you conduct yourself in the manner, like it's much as it hurts your pride to be yelled at and not downgraded, but you think, oh god, like I just want to do the job right and just do it spot on.
Sometimes that constructive criticism.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, like those guys, they didn't give it to me easy. Like I probably had to earn the stripes with them too. And like I said, like that was 6 years ago, I suppose, and I still talk to them regularly and just ask what's going on. Like they are real good mentors and like mates in my life, I suppose. I'd like to hope that I've got strong relationships with my clients. Like I have their best interests at heart, and I just want to see their business goals come to life and achieve their business plans, whether it's like more lands on the ground or turning away cattle faster. Like I generally thrive off them and their business, and I don't know if that sounds sad and pathetic.
No, that's so sweet though.
I love that. I love that, and I've met a lot of really genuine people, and like their word is as good as their word. Yeah. And I really cherish that. So
and it'd be very rewarding seeing that you've helped your clients to get a better outcome in their livestock.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like that's what everyone in the industry should be. If you're in this position, like you should be it's their livelihood at the end of the day. And again, I suppose it comes back into like the social working aspect side of things too. And I think like definitely another one in my career, like I'm in a good position now with a really good company that took a chance on me. Like I might have been 22, 23, and like they come to me and were like, do you want to come work for us? And I was like, yeah, like I'm up for any opportunity. And so I think that's also made me who I am today as well. Like I know what I want to do and what like direction my career is heading in and where I want the business I'm with to end up. Like I probably am really I feel like that passionate about this. Yeah.
I feel like that leads into my next question. So what is your long-term career goal for agriculture?
Yeah, so my long-term career goal, like I definitely obviously want to keep improving and I want to be the biggest and the best person to get more clients and look after them and everything like that. But I probably want to, like, will go more to like a consultancy role within the animal health and livestock production scene. So like more personalised dealings and all that on farm with clients, because I just feel like there's a real need for someone in that space. And
have you done any more study since school?
So I haven't done any study. Like I literally left year 12, had my certificate 2 in ag from school. I did a learning online, like a livestock online course, which I've completed that and just got, I think that was like a certificate in livestock management and all that, but currently looking at doing Bachelor of Animal Science by Distant Ed. So I don't regret not going to uni straight after school, because I feel like if I'd gone to uni straight after school and I had done 4 years of study and been like, right, I don't really know where this leaves me. Whereas now, like I know, I suppose 7 years down the track, like I know where I want to be, what career path I want to do. So now I'm like, right, I'm just going to focus on doing the Bachelor of Animal Science and don't get bogged down in the whole studying straight after school and everything like that.
It's just another different career pathway, like you're saying. So, like instead of coming out of school and going into uni, you've gone into a more hands-on role and worked out where you want to go and what you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. So. And it's just more so ensuring myself now by doing extra study and I'm at a point in my career, I suppose, where if in 10 years' time I go off and have kids, like I can work 3 days a week and go out on farm and do some consultancy work. Like that's probably where I look. Long term.
So what advice would you give someone or a young person wanting to start a career in ag?
Definitely do it. It's such a safe career and something you can fall back on. Like I feel like if someone says to me they can't get a job, I'm like, you have not looked hard enough. Like there's plenty of jobs within the ag industry, and that might be pulling cow's udders or driving a tractor or doing something like that. Like not downgrading anything, but there is always someone looking for someone to work on their farm or work in the ag industry. You can become really accomplished. You could really become a leader within the ag industry because people's livelihoods depend on it and depend on you, so it's rewarding. And the old saying goes, I suppose, you do a job you love, you'll never work the rest of your life. And so I'm probably big on that. Don't get bogged down in the pressure of choosing a career during year 10, year 11. I'd hands down tell anyone to do vet ag if you've got a real passionate teacher pushing it and all that. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for jumping on, Jorja, and chatting to us about your pathway. It's so unique and a different view, and I feel like you've given some fantastic advice throughout that. So,
I hope so.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
This Ag Champions podcast was supported by the Secondary Schools Agriculture Fund, which is funded by Agriculture Victoria as part of the Victorian Government's 4-year $50 million Agriculture College Modernisation Program. Thank you for listening.